Welcome back, coin hunters. Today we're diving into a small coin that could hold a surprisingly big secret, the USA Jefferson nickel. At first glance it may look like just another 5-cent piece. But what if I told you that some of these coins featuring Thomas Jefferson and the famous Monticello have sold for hundreds or even thousands of dollars to collectors? In this video, we'll uncover the hidden value, rare details, and collector secrets behind this fascinating coin. So before you spend your next nickel, watch carefully. You might already have a tiny treasure hiding in your pocket. Let's get started. First up in the 1986, P. Monticello Jefferson nickel is an intriguing piece within the long-running Jefferson nickel collection, a series that has fascinated numismatists since its debut in 1938. Issued by the United States Mint, the 1986 P 5-cent coin carries the iconic portrait of Thomas Jefferson and the architectural image of his famous home, Monticello. While most examples of the 1986 P nickels circulated widely and are worth only modest sums, certain high-grade specimens and rare varieties have become extremely desirable among collectors. These exceptional coins can command impressive prices in the numismatic market, especially when preserved in pristine condition. Their appeal lies not only in their scarcity in top grades, but also in their connection to one of the most recognizable designs in American coinage, making them a prized find for both new collectors and experienced specialists. The 1986 P. Jefferson nickel was struck during a period when American coinage was firmly established in modern circulation, yet still deeply rooted in tradition. The Jefferson nickel series began in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel and honoring the third U.S. President, Thomas Jefferson, whose influence on American democracy remains profound. Coins minted in 1986 came from the Philadelphia facility of the United States Mint, indicated by the P mint mark located on the obverse side. By the mid-1980s, the United States was experiencing economic stability and strong coin production to support everyday commerce. Although the coin does not commemorate a specific event, it represents the enduring legacy of Jefferson and the architectural beauty of Monticello, which symbolizes enlightenment, education, and American independence. The 1986 issue also reflects the continuation of Felix Schlag's classic design that had already endured for nearly 5 decades. The design of the 1986 P. Jefferson nickel remains one of the most recognizable in American coinage. On the obverse, the left-facing portrait of Thomas Jefferson displays sharp detail in well-preserved examples, including defined hair strands and clear facial contours. The reverse depicts Monticello, Jefferson's historic Virginia estate, rendered with balanced symmetry and architectural precision. The coin is composed of a copper-nickel-clad alloy consisting of 75% copper and 25% nickel, giving it a durable silvery appearance. It has a diameter of 21.2 millimeters and weighs approximately 5 grams. What makes high-grade specimens especially striking is their original mint luster, bright, reflective surfaces that shimmer under light, and sharply struck details on Monticello's columns and steps. Collectors particularly value coins with full steps, a designation given when the steps of Monticello are fully visible and sharply defined. Although the total mintage of the 1986 P. Jefferson nickel exceeded hundreds of millions, truly pristine examples are surprisingly difficult to find. Most coins from this year circulated heavily, leading to worn surfaces and diminished details. As a result, coins graded mint state 65 or higher by professional grading services become significantly scarcer. The rarest and most desirable pieces are those graded MS 67 or above, particularly with the full steps designation. Small die variations or striking anomalies can also add additional interest for specialists. Because coins at these levels are so difficult to locate, collectors compete aggressively when they appear in auctions or certified collections. The rarity is therefore not in the total number produced, but in the extremely limited number that survived with exceptional preservation. In ordinary circulated condition, the 1986 P. Jefferson nickel typically holds only face value or slightly more. However, the market changes dramatically for high-grade coins. Certified mint state examples graded MS 65 may sell for a few dollars, while MS 66 pieces can reach $20 to $40 depending on eye appeal. The real excitement begins with MS 67 coins, which may bring several $100s in specialized auctions. Exceptional specimens with the coveted full steps designation can push prices into the $800 to $1,500 range, or even higher if the coin displays outstanding luster and strike quality. These values fluctuate based on collector demand, certification, and overall market trends, but the steady popularity of Jefferson nickels ensures consistent interest from numismatic enthusiasts. For collectors hoping to acquire a valuable 1986 P. Jefferson nickel, careful inspection is essential. Look for coins with minimal contact marks, strong luster, and clearly defined details on both Jefferson's portrait and the Monticello building. The steps beneath Monticello are particularly important. If they appear complete and sharply struck, the coin may qualify for the highly sought-after full steps designation. Certification from respected grading companies such as PeaceGS or NGC is strongly recommended, as it guarantees authenticity and establishes a trusted grade that influences market value. Proper storage is equally important. Coins should be kept in protective holders or capsules to prevent scratches, oxidation, or environmental damage. Many collectors find the best examples through reputable coin dealers, numismatic auctions, or collector communities specializing in Jefferson nickels. The 1986 P. Monticello Jefferson nickel stands as a fascinating example of how a seemingly common circulating coin can become highly valuable under the right conditions. Its connection to Thomas Jefferson, its elegant depiction of Monticello, and its place within the long-running Jefferson nickel series give it enduring historical and artistic significance. While millions were produced, only a small fraction survive in the exceptional condition that collectors prize, making top-graded specimens both rare and desirable. For numismatists, the coin offers a compelling blend of affordability, history, and investment potential. Whether pursued as part of a complete Jefferson nickel collection or sought as a high-grade standout piece, the 1986 P. nickel continues to attract attention and admiration in the world of modern coin collecting. Beyond the standard issue, specialists in the Jefferson nickel often search carefully through 1986 P. nickels to identify subtle die varieties and striking differences that can significantly enhance a coin's desirability. Slight variations in die alignment, doubled lettering, or minor hubbing inconsistencies occasionally appear and can attract strong interest from collectors who focus on modern mint anomalies. Another highly discussed characteristic is the sharpness of the strike on Monticello. Coins showing exceptionally crisp architectural lines, clearly separated columns, and fully defined steps beneath the building are far more valuable than weakly struck examples. These details reveal how carefully the coin was struck at the United States Mint facility in Philadelphia, and when preserved in top condition, they can transform a simple 5-cent coin into a prized collectible admired for its technical excellence. In the competitive world of coin auctions, the finest examples of the 1986 P. Jefferson nickel can surprise collectors with their impressive sale prices. While most examples remain common, certified coins graded at the very top of the scale, particularly MS67 or higher, have drawn attention at major numismatic auctions. Coins that display vibrant mint luster, nearly flawless surfaces, and the coveted full steps designation are often the stars of specialized modern coin sales. Some premium specimens have been reported selling for well over $1,000, especially when multiple collectors compete for a top population example. These high prices illustrate how condition rarity drives the market, transforming an otherwise ordinary circulating coin into a centerpiece item for collectors who focus on registry quality sets. The long-term appeal of the 1986 P. Jefferson nickel lies in its role as part of a historic American coin series that honors Thomas Jefferson, one of the most influential figures in United States history. Over the years, the Jefferson nickel series has gained increasing attention among collectors building high-grade registry sets, which require coins of the finest quality available. As the population of top-graded examples remains extremely limited, demand for them often continues to grow. This dynamic has gradually pushed values higher for the best specimens. While the coin may not be rare in general circulation, its scarcity and superb condition provides a compelling investment angle, particularly for collectors who appreciate the combination of American history, artistry, and rarity in modern coinage. Next up in the 1941 Jefferson nickel, formerly known as the Monticello Thomas Jefferson 5-cent coin, is an important piece in American numismatics and remains highly appealing to collectors across the world. First introduced in 1938, the Jefferson nickel series honors the third U.S. President, Thomas Jefferson, and features his historic Virginia estate, Monticello, on the reverse. By 1941, the coin had already become a staple of everyday American commerce, yet certain examples from that year, especially those preserved in exceptional condition, have grown significantly in value over time. Collectors admire the 1941 nickel not only for its elegant classical design, but also for its connection to a pivotal moment in American history. While most circulated examples remain affordable, rare high-grade specimens and notable varieties can command impressive prices in the numismatic market, making the coin an intriguing target for both beginner and advanced collectors. The 1941 Jefferson nickel was produced by the United States Mint during a period of global tension as the United States stood on the brink of entering World War II. At the time, the Mint struck these coins at 3 facilities: Philadelphia, no mint mark, Denver D, and San Francisco S. The nickel series itself had replaced the Buffalo nickel design only a few years earlier, marking a shift toward a more refined and historically themed coinage. In 1941, large quantities were minted to meet the demands of commerce, but the year remains historically notable because it was the last full year before wartime metal changes altered the composition of U.S. nickels. Beginning in 1942, the nickel alloy would be modified to conserve strategic metals for the war effort, which makes the pre-war 1941 issue particularly interesting to collectors who study the transition in American coinage. The visual design of the 1941 Jefferson nickel is both dignified and instantly recognizable. The obverse features a left-facing portrait of Thomas Jefferson, created by sculptor Felix Schlag, with the inscriptions "In God We Trust, Liberty," and the date 1941. The reverse displays a detailed image of Monticello, Jefferson's neoclassical home, along with the words "E pluribus unum," United States of America, and 5 cents. The coin is composed of 75% copper and 25% nickel, weighs approximately 5 grams, and measures 21.2 millimeters in diameter. What makes this coin visually special is the crisp architectural rendering of Monticello's columns and dome, which becomes particularly striking in well-preserved, uncirculated examples. Coins with full design details, especially those showing clear steps at the base of Monticello, are especially prized by collectors. Although millions of 1941 nickels were produced, true rarity often comes down to condition and specific varieties. Circulated pieces are relatively common, but coins graded mint state, MS 65 or higher, become increasingly scarce. One particularly desirable designation among collectors is the full steps variety, referring to sharply defined steps on the Monticello building in the reverse design. Because these steps are easily worn or weakly struck, examples showing all steps clearly are much rarer. The 1941 issue, struck in San Francisco, is often more difficult to find in high grades compared with the Philadelphia and Denver issues. In addition, occasional minting errors, such as double dies or off-center strikes, can make certain coins far rarer and significantly more valuable than typical examples. In today's numismatic market, the value of a 1941 Jefferson nickel varies widely depending on condition, mint mark, and special designations. A typical circulated example might be worth between 20 cents and $2, reflecting its historical interest more than intrinsic rarity. However, uncirculated coins graded around MS 63 to MS 65 can sell for approximately $10 to $40. Premium examples, especially those graded MS 67 or higher with the coveted full steps designation, can reach several $100s or more at auction. Rare error coins or exceptional specimens with flawless surfaces have occasionally sold for over $1,000. While these values are modest compared with some famous U.S. rarities, the 1941 Jefferson nickel still demonstrates how condition and strike quality can dramatically influence a coin's market price. Collectors interested in acquiring a valuable 1941 Jefferson nickel should focus primarily on quality and authentication. Carefully examine the reverse of the coin to see whether the steps beneath Monticello are fully visible, as this feature can greatly increase desirability. Purchasing coins graded and encapsulated by reputable services, such as professional numismatic grading companies, helps ensure authenticity and accurate grading. Proper storage is also essential. Coins should be kept in protective holders or albums designed for coin preservation, away from humidity and harsh handling. Collectors often find the best examples through established coin dealers, major auctions, or trusted numismatic communities where rare high-grade pieces occasionally appear. The 1941 Jefferson nickel stands as a fascinating blend of American history, classical design, and collectible potential. Featuring the portrait of Thomas Jefferson and the iconic image of Monticello, the coin represents a period just before wartime changes reshaped U.S. coinage. While many examples remain common, exceptional specimens, particularly those with pristine surfaces and full steps details, can command impressive prices and generate strong interest among collectors. For numismatic enthusiasts, the 1941 nickel offers an accessible yet historically rich addition to a collection, combining aesthetic appeal with the possibility of long-term appreciation as demand for high-quality vintage U.S. coins continues to grow. Among serious collectors of the Jefferson nickel series, the 1941 issue is particularly interesting because of subtle strike variations and mint characteristics that influence desirability. Coins produced by the United States Mint in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco each display slightly different strike qualities and surface textures. The 1941D issue from Denver is widely known for having a relatively strong strike compared with some San Francisco pieces, while the 1941S coins can occasionally show weaker details on the steps of Monticello. These differences may seem minor to casual observers, but they are crucial to experienced numismatists who study die quality and minting techniques. High-grade coins that display crisp lettering, bright original luster, and fully detailed architectural elements are far scarcer than the raw mintage numbers might suggest, which is why specialists often spend years searching for premium specimens. Over the years, certain extraordinary examples of the 1941 Jefferson nickel have achieved impressive results at major coin auctions. Coins graded at the very top of the condition scale, especially those receiving an MS-67 or MS-68 grade with the coveted full steps designation, are extremely scarce. Some of these coins have sold for several $1,000s when offered through prestigious numismatic auction houses. These premium results demonstrate how a common date coin can become highly valuable when preserved in exceptional condition. The appeal lies not only in rarity, but also in the remarkable preservation of the portrait of Thomas Jefferson and the precise architectural lines of his estate, Monticello. Such coins represent the very best surviving examples of the 1941 production year and are often the centerpiece of advanced Jefferson nickel collections. The market for Jefferson nickels has steadily grown as more collectors recognize the importance of high-grade early issues. Coins from the late 1930s and early 1940s, including the 1941 variety, have experienced gradual appreciation in value as certified populations remain limited. While circulated examples remain inexpensive, the finest certified coins continue to attract strong bidding competition. Many investors and collectors view these coins as an accessible entry point into historic U.S. coinage while still offering long-term potential. The steady demand is also fueled by collectors assembling complete date and mint sets of the Jefferson nickel series, which naturally increases competition for the best preserved coins from earlier years of production. Ultimately, the lasting fascination with the 1941 Jefferson nickel lies in its blend of history, artistry, and collectible challenge. The coin represents a snapshot of American life just before the United States entered World War II, a moment that would soon reshape the nation and even influence the composition of its coins. For collectors, the search for a perfectly preserved specimen with brilliant luster and sharply defined steps beneath Monticello is both exciting and rewarding. Whether valued at only a few dollars or several thousand for the finest known pieces, the 1941 Jefferson nickel remains a cherished part of American numismatic heritage and a compelling reminder that even everyday coins can hold remarkable historical and monetary value. Next up to in the 1946 Jefferson nickel is one of the most fascinating early post-World War II coins in the long-running Jefferson nickel series, and it holds a special place in American numismatics because it represents the transition from wartime coinage back to traditional composition. Featuring the portrait of Thomas Jefferson and the iconic Monticello, the nickel continues the design that first appeared in 1938. Although the 1946 issue was produced in large numbers, Exceptionally well-preserved examples and rare varieties have become highly desirable among collectors. Today, the coin attracts attention not only for its historical symbolism, but also for the surprisingly high prices that pristine or rare specimens can achieve at auctions. For numismatic enthusiasts and investors alike, the 1946 Jefferson nickel demonstrates how a seemingly ordinary 5-cent coin can become a valuable collectible when rarity, condition, and historical context intersect. Historically, the 1946 Jefferson nickel was minted just after the end of World War II, when the United States resumed the traditional copper-nickel alloy that had been temporarily replaced by silver wartime nickels between 1942 and 1945. The coin was struck at two major facilities of the United States Mint, the Philadelphia Mint and the Denver Mint. Unlike wartime nickels, these coins no longer featured the large mint mark above Monticello, signaling the return to peacetime coinage. The 1946 issue represents the first full year of standard nickel production after the war, making it an important marker in American economic recovery and the normalization of the country's monetary system. The coin's design remains one of the most recognizable in American currency. The obverse displays a left-facing portrait of Thomas Jefferson, designed by the German-American sculptor Felix Schlag, whose work won a national design competition in the late 1930s. The reverse features a detailed depiction of Monticello, Jefferson's historic Virginia estate, symbolizing classical architecture and the legacy of America's third president. The coin is composed of 75% copper and 25% nickel, measures about 21.2 millimeters in diameter, and weighs 5 grams. In high-grade condition, especially examples with strong steps visible on the Monticello design, known as full steps, the coin becomes particularly desirable because these details indicate a well-struck specimen with minimal wear. Despite relatively high mintages, certain varieties of the 1946 Jefferson nickel are considered scarce today. Circulation wear, improper storage, and decades of handling have reduced the number of surviving coins in pristine condition. High-grade pieces graded mint state, MS 65 or higher, by professional services such as Professional Coin Grading Service and Numismatic Guarantee Company are especially difficult to find. Coins displaying the coveted full steps detail on Monticello are even rarer, as the design elements were often weakly struck at the mint. Small mint mark variations between Philadelphia and Denver issues also contribute to collector interest, further increasing the desirability of top-quality examples. In terms of market value, most circulated 1946 Jefferson nickels remain affordable, typically worth between 10 cents and $2 depending on condition. However, the price increases dramatically for coins in superior condition. A well-preserved, uncirculated example may sell for $10 to $50, while high-grade certified specimens graded MS 67 or higher can reach several $100s. The most exceptional examples, particularly those with full steps and near-perfect surfaces, have achieved auction prices approaching $1,000 or more. These values demonstrate how condition and rarity dramatically influence the coin's worth, turning an ordinary 5-cent piece into a potentially valuable collectible. For collectors hoping to acquire a valuable 1946 Jefferson nickel, careful examination and authentication are essential. Coins should be inspected for sharp design details, minimal surface marks, and clear step lines on Monticello. Purchasing coins graded and encapsulated by respected organizations such as Professional Coin Grading Service or Numismatic Guarantee Company can provide assurance of authenticity and quality. Collectors are also encouraged to store coins in protective holders or climate-controlled environments to prevent tarnish and wear. Searching through old coin rolls, estate collections, or reputable coin dealers can sometimes reveal hidden high-grade specimens that have been overlooked. In conclusion, the 1946 Jefferson nickel stands as a remarkable example of how historical context, craftsmanship, and condition combine to create numismatic value. Its connection to the post-war era, elegant design by Felix Schlag, and enduring portrait of Thomas Jefferson make it a meaningful piece of American coinage history. For collectors, the coin offers both historical fascination and the potential for financial appreciation, particularly in high-grade or rare varieties. Whether pursued by beginner collectors or seasoned numismatists, the 1946 Jefferson nickel continues to hold a respected and valuable place in the world of modern coin collecting. Beyond the commonly known issues, Certain premium examples of the 1946 Jefferson nickel have captured remarkable attention in elite numismatic circles because of their extraordinary preservation and strike quality. Coins graded at the very top of the scale, such as MS 67 or MS 67 Plus with the coveted full steps designation, represent an extremely small fraction of the original mintage. These coins display mirror-like luster, nearly flawless surfaces, and exceptional detail across the portrait of Thomas Jefferson and the architectural lines of Monticello. In such pristine condition, the coin transforms from an everyday 5-cent piece into a highly prized artifact of American minting excellence, attracting collectors who specialize in assembling top-graded registry sets within the Jefferson nickel series. Auction history further demonstrates how dramatically condition affects value. While ordinary circulated pieces remain modestly priced, top-graded specimens certified by respected grading services, such as Professional Coin Grading Service and Numismatic Guarantee Company, have occasionally reached impressive figures at major coin auctions. Some elite full steps examples have sold for several $100s, and particularly exceptional coins have approached or exceeded the $1,000 mark when collector demand is strong. These prices highlight an important principle in numismatics. Rarity and condition, rather than simply low mintage, can dramatically elevate a coin's market worth. For collectors chasing the finest examples of post-war coinage, the 1946 issue represents a compelling challenge. Another factor that increases the desirability of the 1946 Jefferson nickel is its place at the beginning of a new era in American coin production following World War II. The return to the standard copper-nickel composition symbolized the stabilization of the American economy and the resumption of peacetime manufacturing priorities. As the first post-war issue without the large wartime mint mark above Monticello, the coin carries subtle historical symbolism. For collectors who value coins as historical documents as much as monetary objects, the 1946 nickel represents a tangible reminder of the transition from wartime austerity to the prosperity that defined the late 1940s and 1950s in the United States. Ultimately, the enduring fascination with the 1946 Jefferson nickel lies in its combination of historical importance, elegant design, and surprising investment potential. While millions were minted, only a small number survive today in the spectacular condition required to command high premiums. For dedicated numismatists, locating one of these superior specimens can be both challenging and rewarding. As interest in vintage American coinage continues to grow worldwide, well-preserved examples of this post-war classic may continue to appreciate in value, ensuring that the 1946 Jefferson nickel remains a respected and sought-after treasure within the broader Jefferson nickel series for generations of collectors to come. Next up in the 1990 P. Jefferson nickel, a 5-cent coin of the United States featuring Thomas Jefferson and the historic home Monticello, occupies an interesting position in modern American numismatics. While billions of Jefferson nickels have circulated since the late 1930s, certain high-grade examples of the 1990 P issue have drawn increasing attention from collectors and investors. This coin, struck at the Philadelphia Mint, is part of the long-running Jefferson nickel series that began in 1938. For everyday commerce, the 1990 P nickel was simply a standard circulation coin, but over time collectors discovered that exceptionally preserved pieces, particularly those with full design details and brilliant surfaces, can command surprisingly strong prices in the numismatic market. Because of this, the coin has become a notable example of how modern coins can develop collectible value when found in extraordinary condition. Historically, the 1990 P. Jefferson nickel was minted during a period when U.S. coinage production was largely focused on meeting the needs of everyday commerce rather than commemorative or special releases. The Jefferson nickel series had already been in circulation for more than 50 years by this time, continuing the design created by German-American sculptor Felix Schlag. Introduced to replace the earlier Buffalo nickel design, the Jefferson series was intended to honor the third president of the United States and celebrate American architectural heritage through the depiction of Monticello. By 1990, the coin had become a familiar and stable part of U.S. currency. Although no special historical event was directly commemorated that year, the coin reflects the late 20th century period of high-volume mint production and represents the continuity of one of America's longest-running coin designs. The design features of the 1990 P. Jefferson nickel remain faithful to the classic layout established in 1938. The obverse displays a left-facing portrait of Thomas Jefferson, accompanied by the inscriptions "In God We Trust, Liberty," and the date 1990. The reverse showcases Monticello, Jefferson's famous Virginia estate, centered beneath the inscriptions "E Pluribus Unum," United States of America, and 5 cents. Like other modern nickels, the coin is composed of a copper-nickel alloy containing 75% copper and 25% nickel, giving it a durable silver-gray appearance. It measures approximately 21.21 millimeters in diameter and weighs 5 grams. In high-grade specimens, the crispness of the Monticello steps, often referred to by collectors as full steps, is especially prized because it indicates a strong strike and exceptional preservation. In terms of rarity, the 1990 P nickel is not rare in circulation because the Philadelphia Mint produced hundreds of millions of examples. However, the rarity emerges when collectors search for coins in near-perfect condition. Most coins entered circulation quickly and suffered wear, scratches, and contact marks. As a result, coins graded at the very top levels, such as mint state 66, 67, or higher, are significantly harder to find. Even more scarce are pieces with the coveted full steps designation, where the steps on the Monticello building are fully defined without interruptions. These top-tier coins represent only a tiny fraction of the total mintage, which explains why advanced collectors actively compete for them. The market value of the 1990 P. Jefferson nickel varies widely depending on condition and grading. Circulated examples generally remain worth only their face value of 5 cents. However, uncirculated pieces with strong luster may sell for a few dollars, while professionally graded coins in MS-66 or MS-67 condition can command prices ranging from around $50 to several $100s. Exceptional specimens with pristine surfaces and full design detail have occasionally sold for even higher amounts at major numismatic auctions. Market trends show that modern coins in elite grades often appreciate steadily because collectors assembling complete high-grade sets need these scarce top-quality examples to complete their collections. For collectors interested in acquiring a 1990 P. Jefferson nickel, several strategies can help identify valuable pieces. First, examine coins carefully under good lighting to look for sharp details on Monticello, especially the steps at the base of the building. Coins with minimal scratches, bright luster, and well-defined features are the most promising candidates. Many serious collectors prefer coins certified by professional grading organizations such as Professional Coin Grading Service or Numismatic Guarantee Company, which authenticate and grade coins to standardized scales. Proper storage is also important. Coins should be kept in protective holders or archival quality flips to prevent scratches, oxidation, or environmental damage. In conclusion, the 1990 P. Jefferson nickel demonstrates how even modern circulating coins can gain significant collectible appeal when preserved in exceptional condition. Its connection to Thomas Jefferson, the enduring image of Monticello, and its place within the long-running Jefferson nickel series give it lasting historical and artistic importance. While ordinary examples remain common, high-grade pieces with outstanding strike quality and eye appeal can command strong prices and attract competitive interest among collectors. For both beginners and seasoned numismatists, the coin offers an accessible yet intriguing opportunity to explore the fascinating world of modern U.S. coin collecting and the hidden value that can exist within everyday currency. Another important aspect that enhances the reputation of the 1990 P. Jefferson nickel is the specialized category of registry set collecting, which has become increasingly popular among modern coin enthusiasts. Registry sets, organized by professional grading organizations, encourage collectors to assemble the highest graded examples of every coin in a particular series. Because of this competition, collectors often search aggressively for near-perfect examples of coins that were otherwise common in circulation. In the case of the 1990 P nickel, coins graded at the very top of the scale, such as MS-67 or higher, can become extremely desirable simply because so few survive with flawless surfaces and exceptional strike quality. This competition among collectors can drive prices significantly higher than what might be expected for a modern 5-cent coin. In addition to condition rarity, subtle strike characteristics also influence the desirability of the 1990 P. Jefferson nickel. One of the most important features collectors examine is the clarity of the steps on Monticello on the reverse side. These steps are tiny architectural details that often appear weak or incomplete because of the pressure used during the minting process. Coins displaying all steps clearly separated and uninterrupted are awarded the prestigious full steps designation by grading services. Such coins are significantly rarer than ordinary examples and can command several times the price of standard uncirculated coins. For collectors building elite Jefferson nickel collections, a full steps coin from the Philadelphia Mint is often considered essential. Another factor that attracts collectors to the 1990 P issue is its role within the broader Jefferson nickel lineage, which honors Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States and author of the Declaration of Independence. The portrait of Jefferson on the obverse, originally designed by Felix Schlag, remains one of the longest used designs in U.S. coinage history. This enduring design continuity adds to the coin's historical charm. Even though the 1990 P nickel is a modern issue, it still connects collectors to more than half a century of American coinage tradition, making it appealing to those who enjoy completing long chronological sets that trace the evolution of U.S. currency. From an investment perspective, the value trajectory of high-grade examples of the 1990 P. Jefferson nickel reflects a broader trend in modern numismatics. Condition rarity often matters more than the original mintage numbers. While millions of coins were struck, only a tiny percentage survive in pristine conditions suitable for top-tier grading. Over time, as collectors search for the finest possible specimens, the supply of such coins becomes limited. Auction records have shown that top-graded coins can sell for hundreds of dollars or more depending on appeal, strike quality, and certification. This trend demonstrates how modern coins can evolve into desirable collectibles, particularly when collectors recognize the scarcity of superbly preserved examples. Ultimately, the lasting appeal of the 1990 P. Jefferson nickel lies in the combination of accessibility, history, and the thrill of discovery. Unlike many rare coins that require large investments, this nickel can still occasionally be found in original mint sets, coin rolls, or inherited collections waiting to be examined carefully. For collectors, the excitement comes from the possibility that an ordinary-looking coin might actually be a high-grade specimen worthy of professional certification. With its iconic image of Monticello, its tribute to Thomas Jefferson, and its place in the enduring Jefferson nickel, the 1990 P nickel remains an intriguing and rewarding piece for both passionate numismatists and new collectors exploring the hidden value of everyday American coins.